Namaste, Sashikal, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome, friends. Welcome to our practice of Yin, practice of stillness, reflection with meditative qualities. You'll need to have available props that support you, that bring added comfort, added stability. So perhaps some cushions, pillows, 2 blankets if you have them available. So something to line your mat for that additional warmth and comfort. Something that will serve as your bolster or bolster equivalent. So if you're in your living room, take off the cushions, off the furniture. If you're in your bedroom, take off the pillows from the bed. And come into your sukhasana, your steady seat. And when you arrive on your mat, in fact, I'm going to already bring some comfort to myself and place something warm. So I'm going to use this faux fur, faux sheepskin. It's not real, my friends. And come onto a comfortable seat here. We're in the season of, we're moving from winter into spring. There are storms brewing around the world. So the element of air is strong. So if you have vata tendencies in your dosha, you will be feeling cold, fingertips, toes. So make sure that you do layer up to prevent that coldness. And let's bring our hands into Havaya Haridya Mudra. So bringing your palms into Anjali. So fingertips are together, palms are slightly open. Cross the wrists, interlace the little finger. Leave the ring finger, interlace the middle fingers. Interlace index. Then bring the ring to meet the thumb. And they kiss gently there. Fearless heart. Moving into the new moon in Aquarius. The rebel of all of the signs. The elemental energy is air, vayu, wind. The quality is courage, fearlessness, venture, open-mindedness, and the principles of liberation are freedom-seeking, truth-speaking, justice-creating. I invite you to drop into the heart space, Anahata Chakra, and connect with your intentions for the new moon. Plant the seeds of spring. We move towards Imbolc, the Celtic cross quarter of the year, marking the first arrival of spring, bird song. Today, as I was on the river, the murmuration of birds on their migratory return were flying in the sky above. Plant your seeds of awakening, of seeking community, of being with community, crafting a community rooted in justice and equity, in which freedom is tasted and enjoyed by all. This vision and dream and hope be fed by your intentions, your practice, your meditation during this lunar cycle. Inhaling, prepare to chant Om 3 times. Om. 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 A mantra for the new moon. Om somaya namaha. Drawing upon the hydrating, nourishing nectar which flows from the moon and pours into our Soma Chakra above, just below the hairline, above the Agnya Chakra. And it is this nectar that we release through our practice of yoga. Om somaya namaha. Om somaya namaha. Om somaya namaha. Om. Release your fingers. Let's take a moment here. If you're sitting on a block, let's move that out of the way. And we're immediately going to come onto our knees and lower legs into Virasana, Hero's Pose, so that your tops of your feet are connected to the earth. If it feels uncomfortable, roll a blanket or place a cushion on the inside of your heels, so where your ankles meet your feet. So perhaps taking a blanket and a small roll, because you, depending on how much space there is between the inside of your heels there, and then that will add a little bit of support and comfort. You can also place a seat cushion underneath your seat. Lengthen through the crown. Focus the third eye on the third eye, Agnya Chakra. Breathing to and from the third eye. Draw your shoulder blades together and reach your hands behind you. Come up high onto your fingertips here. If there is distance between your fingertips and the earth, place a block or a bolster behind you so that the earth rises to meet your fingers. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Open the heart, lift the gaze, and turn the gaze of the eyes inward towards the Agnya Chakra. Feel the flowering and the opening of the heart space, finding freedom and space here across the heart and the lungs. We're going to be working together with the element of air, and then drawing upon TCM element of wood, which invites spring. So the interweaving of Eastern and Indian philosophy here, the root at which is harmony with the cycles of nature. One full breath here. And now as we exhale, shift that internal gaze to just below the hairline, to the Soma Chakra. This is where the nectar or ambrosia from the moon flows in towards us. Walk your hands forward and then tuck your toes into a toe squat here. We're going to come directly onto the earth here and bring our eyebrow center, particularly where the Soma Chakra is below the hairline, onto the backs of our hands. Keep your toes tucked here. The weight is in the hips and pelvis. That's the heaviest part of you. And there's a connection between the forehead and the backs of your hands. Keep this internal gaze to the Soma Chakra below the hairline, as if you can taste ambrosia here. Soften here, keeping the toes tucked. So we're also extending through the legs here, thinking about our pathways for the energy to flow, the meridian pathways in traditional Chinese medicine and nadis in Indian philosophy. These two cultures symbiotic in terms of the development of knowledge around the body. Awakening the nectar of the moon as we awaken the season of spring. One more full breath here. And then, my friends, untuck your toes so that we come into child's pose, Balasana. Rise up and reach up with the right arm to the sky. Bring the thumb to meet the ring and index fingers, keeping the middle and little finger extended, Rudra Mudra. And then exhale, thread the right arm underneath you and bring the right ear and shoulder to the mat here. This left hand can extend forward and rise up onto the fingertips here. So creating this freedom with the movement. Often people will mistake the Aquarius, which is represented by the water bearer, as a water element. It is the air element. Thinking about the nature of wind, the quality of air, this powerful force of nature, which is invisible to the human eye, and just only the force of the action that we witness and observe. In this way, as we move through the world, it is the force of our internal personal power that create impact and effect around us. And we choose whether that impact and effect is positive for the benefit of our communities, or whether it is a self-serving impact. As we move into the new moon in Aquarius, we begin to explore our intentions. From here, my friends, let's take the left hand to the lower back, palm facing, and bring the right hand to the left shoulder, so that you can open out the left shoulder and use the right hand as a pillar of support here. Creating an opening in the heart, an opening in the side body here. Remember, your head can be resting directly on the earth or supported by a folded blanket or cushion. One more breath. And then release the left hand from behind you and rise up for a moment. Let's reach up with the left arm. Bring your hand into your Rudra Mudra. So remember, here we invite the ring and index tip to meet the thumb. Extend the middle and the little, and thread the left arm underneath the body, bringing the left shoulder and ear to the mat or to a cushion or a pillow. High up on the fingers of the right hand. Knees here can be together or slightly apart or wide apart. In this dark moon phase before we arrive at the new moon, this is our opportunity to dream, to welcome visions so that we find clarity. We recognize truth. We welcome an invitation to move forward. But as we move forward, we keep in mind the big picture. What is that? What is the big dream? What are those hopes that seem impossible yet are very possible? Bring the right hand to the back, palm face up. And then bring the left hand to the right shoulder to support it as a pillar. I'm going to turn around so you can. Doesn't help me when I just turn around. Yes. 6 full breaths here in Suchirandasana, Child's Pose, in the variation through which we thread the needle. What is your sankalpa, your heartfelt calling? What is your dharma, life's purpose? These are reflections which are calling to us during this moon. And with the first signs of spring and Imbolc, which I honor for dear members of my family, you're able to experience optimism, hope, releasing your hand from behind your back and from your shoulder. Rise up for a moment here, my friends. And then take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, release the index, cross the thumbs, draw the shoulder blades together, lift your heart, lift your face up towards the moon. Closing your eyes, take your internal gaze to the third eye, the Agnya Chakra between the eyebrows. the eyebrow center. And then to the Soma Chakra, just below the hairline. One more breath here. And then let's release our hands. Now from here, my friends, let's come onto our seat. We're going to cross the left leg over the right. And we're going to come into shoelace pose. So your option here, my friend, is to keep that right leg extended and the left knee over the top. So half shoelace. Or bring the right heel to the left hip. So come into your variation of shoelace that feels comfortable for you. Remember, you can always place some support underneath the knees. So you could thread it underneath the knee so that you have a little bit more space, but you still feel the connection there. Inhale, reach up, interlace your fingers, release the index, cross the thumb, reaching up. Exhale over to the left. Hold a breath here. Hold the stillness, not holding the breath, my friends. Hold the stillness here and allow the breath to flow through the stillness. So your breath is moving. The body is still. The mind may be wavering. Time to awaken your talents, your skills, your passions, your gifts, your dreams, your power to create change, overcoming barriers and hurdles. Into center. Exhale, right hand to the earth and reach up and over with the left arm. You can bring your right forearm all the way to the earth. Hands here can be in your Rudra Mudra. And again, holding the body in stillness, moving and flowing through the stillness with the breath, almost as if all that stands on the earth that is still, when the wind blows, it rustles the leaves. Your breath, the element of air, Vayu, is symbolic of your breath. Inhale back to center. Take a moment here, my friends. High upon your fingertips. And then turn over to the left. So take the right hand to the outside of the left knee and look over the left shoulder here. Gentle twist here. Breathing deeply here. Planting your seeds, rooting them into the earth. Your intentions, your dreams, and are waiting for them to grow into strong trees, which are sturdy and stable and rooted, yet sway in the wind. Inhale through center, counter twist to the right for a moment. And then back to center, let's uncross the legs. So move gently here. Let's place the feet on the earth for a moment. And then place your hands behind you and sway the knees very gently from left to right. And then back to center. We're going to come into shoelace Gomukhasana. Option to extend that right leg long. And cross the, no, actually, I can't remember which way we did just now. Yeah, we had the, extend the left leg long, my friends, and cross the right knee. Thinking that was, yeah, I'm sure that's right. Left leg extended, or you can fold that left leg in and bring the heel to the right hip. This is definitely feeling like I haven't been on this side yet. So again, set yourself up here. You can, I mean, this blanket I have is a bit large, so if you have a smaller blanket or a cushion, you can always place it underneath that top knee to give you a little bit of added support and connection. Gomukhasana here, shoelace pose. Leg, left leg extended or folded in towards the right hip. Inhale, reach up. Interlace your fingers, release the index, cross the thumb. Exhale over to the right. So this Chandrasana, lateral crescent shape that we're creating here. In this moon, we are realigning with our heart's calling, our intentions, our prayers, our dreams, our hopes, our visions. We are rediscovering those. And we are planting seeds which will flower and bloom and grow throughout spring. Clarity of vision enables us and empowers us to move purposefully towards positive change, sustainable change for our community. Aquarius represents justice in the sense of freedom for all. Inhale to center. Bring the left hand down or left forearm and reach up and over with the right arm. Right hand can come into Rudra Mudra. Index ring connected to thumb, middle and little extended. Rudra Mudra is a powerful mudra for engaging in that energy that motivates us, that drives us into change. It is also the energy that helps us to overcome and remove obstacles and barriers and limitations, whether those are self-imposed limitations, whether those are constricted expectations that restrict our expression, whether they're stereotypes and assumptions about us, whether they are doubts and fears and worries that we have imagined. Inhale through center. High up on your fingertips here for a moment. And then exhale, left hand to the outside of the right knee and gaze over your right shoulder, coming into a twist here. Breathing into the abdomen. And as your breath travels towards the abdomen through the heart space, nourish the seeds that you are planting. Or gaze at the growth that may have already taken place, or perhaps something that has been dormant during the winter that can now bloom, open, flower, manifest into action into expression. Inhale to center, and then let's counter twist over to the left. And back to center, my friends. Let's release the legs. Bring the feet to the earth and sway the knees gently from left to right. And then extend them long for a moment. And perhaps you rub your legs. So when we work with the season of, when we're moving into the season of spring, in traditional Chinese medicine, we're working with the meridians of the liver and the gallbladder. So the gallbladder runs along the outside of the legs, and the liver runs along the inside of the legs. So we just give a nice, gentle, firm, gentle but firm. You know, it's hard to explain what I mean by gentle but firm, so that you can really feel the connection with your hands, but it's a soothing touch. And then, my friends, option to come into butterfly, Baddha Konasana, or Sukhasana. Your choice, my friends. I'm going to do a little bit of tapping. Not too much tapping here today, just a little bit to get us into this place. So taking the peace fingers of one hand, that's your index and middle finger, gently tap at the outside of the eyes. One eye. And then let's go to the other eye if you wish. Underneath the eye. And then underneath the other eye. If you want, you can tap at the same time, if that feels comfortable for you. And then let's tap on the inside, at the eyebrow center, inside of the eyebrows. Again, you might want to just tap with one finger, one hand. Then the Agnya Chakra, which is just between the eyebrow center here, so tapping up and down gently, all the way to the hairline. And then from the hairline back to the Agnya Chakra point between the eyebrows, back to the outside of the eyes. One eye first and then the other, or both eyes together, underneath the eyes. So let's do this. What we're doing here is we're reawakening our vision, our capacity to imagine and dream and hope, so that we can create change. Rebels without a cause do not bring benefit to their communities. We are rebels with a cause. We have vision, we gaze off into the horizon and we keep our eye on the horizon, on the goal. Eye on the ball, is it? That's the saying. When you've had enough of the tapping around the eyes, I invite you to bring your 4 fingers of both hands and tap around the top of the ribs here. Moving to center and then up the sternum, along the collarbone, and then back. So creating a sort of pattern here. So out to the sides of the rib cage, up to the middle of the rib cage, the top here, the sternum, and the collarbone. Here we're giving heart to our vision, courage to our vision, fearlessness, moving from fearlessness. And then when you've satisfied yourself with the tapping pattern here, let's bring both knees together. And my friends, we're going to move into I'm going to move variously towards the tail. Let's come onto our right hip. And now here you might want to pad it. If so, for example, you're pretty bony or the bones feel a bit sensitive around the hips, really little padding, which will feel comfortable. Here you might want some stuff, your layers on the blanket. Knees together. We're on the right side, knees together towards the right, feet together. We're on our right forearm here. So stay here for a moment. And then we're going to move into some support here. So let's take the right arm behind us and come onto the floor and bring, so we're on our right ear, our chest to the earth, our right arm is extended overhead. We can have a bend in that arm. And then bend also into your left forearm. So almost as if we're lying on the floor with our upper body against the floor and our right hip here. If this does not feel comfortable, come back up and you can place a bolster or a large pillow, whatever you have available. And then sort of rest with that bolster or pillow underneath the right armpit. This will give you a little bit more height and support so that you're not directly on the earth. And then bring the right hand to the earth. So essentially we want to turn our heart so that the heart is resting on the earth. You will feel this underneath your right armpit in particular. So that's why you have the option of having a bolster or a pillow underneath that right armpit for support. Breathing here into the places where you feel resistance. The resistance can sometimes be the barriers that prevent us from responding to our calling, not acting to realize our visions. Turning away from our purpose, perhaps because we are fearful. Three more breaths here. And this sort of prone, supine twist variation. And then inhale, let's rise up. Use your hands to support you. And come back onto your side here. And lie the right arm down so that it's outstretched from your body. And then roll onto your right shoulder and open out the heart and bring the left shoulder down towards the earth here. The left hand can rest on your hip, or you can outstretch the left arm to the side. So we're now opening up the front of the heart. Extend that right arm out to the side This will release the shoulders, in which you might have experienced some strong sensation. Keep the knees together and to the right. Turn your gaze slightly to the left. Keep intending that left shoulder blade to come towards the earth, and there may well be a big gap there. That's okay. You may even choose to place a cushion underneath there for support if you want to have that connection. And now, my friends, from here, keeping your upper body how it is, begin to walk the right knee, bring the right knee up towards the right. So separate the knees here. The right knee, actually the right knee is my bottom knee. The bottom knee, I push my foot out, and perhaps I reach for my foot with my left hand here. The left knee is crossing my body now, and I still have an H shape with that left leg. I can take my right hand and place it on top of my left knee. Another option here, my friend, is to extend the left leg long and take the right hand and wrap my peace fingers around the big toe, or take hold of my left foot. So now we're in cat's tail. If the feet are a little beyond the reach here, you can allow the arms to soften here and the legs to soften, so the connection between the hands and the feet is not the necessary ambition here. It is the twist and the heart open, the twist in the abdomen for that vayu, which is digestive, saman, pran, and then the pran, which nourishes the heart and lungs. The subtle life force that's circulating around the heart. This is called pran, because within pran, within energy, there are subtle essences of energy, of wind or breath. Around the heart, it's pran. Around the abdomen, it's saman, pran. This enables us to connect with our hopes and dreams, digest and process how we would put those into effect. How would we manifest, realize those hopes and dreams to create change, to serve our community? This new moon in Aquarius is a moon which connects with community. It's humanitarian in nature. Let's release the feet if you're holding on to your feet here, my friends. And then begin to roll onto your back completely. And then you'll shift a few times here so that your feet are flat on the earth. Open your heart And let's bring the soles of the feet together here in Baddha Konasana. Now, check if you want to place some pillows or cushions or rolled up blankets or folded blankets underneath the knees for some support. This can feel very supportive. My dog some space because he's not giving me space. And let's place the left hand on the heart, right hand on the abdomen here. Support underneath the knees, perhaps in your Supta Baddha Konasana. Lengthen the back of the neck by slightly drawing the chin in. Reclined Butterfly. If you wish to cover yourself with a blanket, you may do that as well if your body temperature is dropping. Three more breaths here in Supta Baddha Konasana. From here, my friends, we're going to roll over onto the left side. So release the knees over to the left and lift yourself up onto your left forearm. Keeping the knees together and the feet together, let's bring the left side of the heart down towards the earth. So have a bend in the left arm, palms face down, or you can extend that arm. You'll feel this in the left shoulder, the left armpit. The right forearm is on the earth here as well. So we're in this twist at the navel, mimicking the asana that we were in earlier, but now on the other side. On your left shoulder, left ear. And remember, you can place a bolster or a pillow underneath that left armpit so that the extension in that left shoulder doesn't feel as intense and it softens the sensation, but we still want to have our heart resting on the earth, either directly or on our bolster. There's a deep twist here. 3 more breaths here, my friends. Then inhale, lift the heart. Let's take the left arm over to the right now. Keeping the knees together, make sure you have space behind you. We're going to roll open the heart and bring the right shoulder blade down towards the earth. The left arm is out towards the left here. The knees are over to the left. The right hand can rest on the right hip. Or you can open the right arm out to the side. So now you're in your supine twist. And there will be space between that right shoulder blade and the earth here, because you're on your left hip. So unless you have a lot of space to twist here, you're going to have a little bit of space there. Drawing in the silver of the crescent new moon to hydrate and nourish your Soma Chakra, which feeds your imagination, expands the mind to dream, to have greater visions that include our family, our people, our land, our community. So from here, my friends, we're going to move into cat's tail. So the knees part here, the top knee moves forward and the bottom leg moves back so that you can take hold of the right foot with the right hand, or reach towards the right foot. Keep a bend in the knees here. And then perhaps you extend your left leg long and take hold of your left toe or left foot here. You don't have to connect with the feet at all. The twist we're experiencing here is at the navel. The right shoulder is heading towards the earth. The legs are moving in opposite directions here, so they're crossed over in opposite directions. Cat's tail. I'm always tempted to call this pose Biliki Push. And if you are of South Asian heritage and you are familiar with Punjabi and Hindi, Biliki Push, you may recognize that means cat's tail in a very colloquial way. So the twist that we're bringing in today here is connecting with that active dynamic energy which is rooted around the Manipur chakra. We're digesting and processing that energy so that we can give action, give expression to our visions, our dreams, our hopes, enabling us to use the skills, the talents, the gifts, the passion, the qualities to break free of limitations, to resist control and domination in order to be free. Spring uprising, if you will. 3 more breaths here in cat's tail, my friends. Then releasing your feet and bring the top leg, the right leg back over the left. And as you do, roll onto your backs here. And we're coming into our Shavasana here. So extend the legs long. Reach for your blankets, your eye pillow, covering yourself up here. Creating some warmth and comfort. And then perhaps you set your timer with a beautiful chime so that you are gently awakened from your Shavasana. And set the timer for 5, 10, or 15 minutes. And when you are ready to rise from Shavasana, coming into your Abhaya Haridya Mudra again. So interlacing that little finger, middle and index, and then bringing the ring and thumb together at the heart. Chanting Om Som Somaya Namaha 3 times, and then Om Shanti to mark the closing of your practice. Om Som Somaya Namaha. Om Som Somaya Namaha. Om Som Somaya Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Stay in your Shavasana for as long as you are called. Dhanyavad, my friends.